Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Motorsport Manager, the Underdog Challenge. And today we're running the Bejing GP. We're in Season 5 and running the second race. As you can see, we won in the first race actually. Tulipano did us a great service, managed to snatch out that win. And on top of that, he also got the fastest lap. As you can see, he got 12 points in total. So a very good result overall, I'd say. We do have, of course, a car that should be pretty much near the top. I know it says third, but since, well, top speed and acceleration are two of the most important parts, and that is where we excel, I think this is a little bit misleading. I think we definitely have the best car on the grid right now. Whether we can keep it like that, of course, is another story, but we'll see today. Hopefully we can continue our run and get ourselves another win. Let's see. For anyone wondering, I always do the pit crew stuff off camera because it's kind of dull. Everything is set to 0 mistake chance once again. Hopefully this time we can keep the car in one piece. I know Wojcicki crashed last race, but that wasn't these guys' fault, of course. That was all Wojcicki. We do actually have the first pit crew on the grid, basically the best one. Which is quite nice. Makes it for a little bit of a shorter pit stop time, maybe on average, than the other teams. So that should be good. Alright, Wojcicki's car is completely messed up. Means it's going to take a little bit longer to get it back into working shape. Sucks, because we want to be using that time to improve the reliability of our cars. And Wojcicki has claimed that your brakes seem to be holding the team back. And technical commentators seem to agree. Is it true? Well, let's tell him to button it. I know he's already a little bit miffed, but that was all your fault, man. Like, the brakes were not the problem there. That was just you going into a wall. That is not on us. 3 pit stops. Fastest time was 9.7, not bad at all. And a hard-fought win for Tulipano. Yep, very good. And we also scouted Dembele. She's not great, so... let's not bother about her. Also, last episode, we decided to make the first part of the season, and that was an engine that we can actually use. So we improved both the reliability a little bit and the current top performance. Mainly why we built this engine is just so Wojcicki can use it, or, well, probably we're gonna have Tulipano use it actually, because his engine will be... this engine is slightly better than the one he currently has. But that means Wojcicki can now upgrade to this engine, which should be very nice for him. At the same time, though, we should be looking at another part to make. And I think that might be the acceleration, where we might do the same deal. Probably do this. Because that will take, how long? 11 days. That might actually be something we can use already in the next race, also for Wojcicki, so that would be nice for him. I would like to give him a competitive car, just to see what he can do, and maybe he can also score us some points. He should have a car that's at least up for contention, let's say, once we give him these better parts. Race bonus, this is sort of the dull slot. I think we'll just take this one. Just because it has the most upfront payment, and also actually the better home race. So yeah, this is just all around the best. We probably won't be using the bonus payment for this one, just because we're always going to try to go for first or the third one, because it's so much more money, of course. But it's a nice little bonus of 1 million. I think again for the next race, yeah, top speed is crucial, acceleration is crucial. We should be insanely good in this race, unless we mess up, of course. So yeah, we'll go for first, for sure. That will be the goal. What am I doing? Yeah, we can actually start working on the car now. Let that go for a little too long, but that's okay. We're already working on some parts that are semi-important. I think what we'll end up doing is try and bring Wojcicki's car at least to a semi-decent shape. But of course, Tulipano still takes precedence. Last time out, he did quite well with what he got. Of course, only the brake set needed to be repaired, so that was quite nice for him. I think what we'll end up doing is work on the engine because we might actually give this engine to Wachowski. No, sorry, to Tulipano, and this one goes to Wachowski. We might also improve the brake set of Tulipano, just so he doesn't have to repair it anymore. Then we don't have to worry about any of his parts during the race, which would be nice. On top of that, we'll probably start working on this gearbox now also for Wachowski. And that should give him at least, well, actually, yeah, we're making a gearbox. We probably don't need to do that. That means we can use the other gearbox, probably. So what do we work on then? Maybe a bit more of the engine? Just to get it to a shape where... No, because this is going to be Wachowski's engine. Don't need that to be too high. Maybe just get these to like 80%, just so we know for sure they won't be breaking. That might be better. Alright, what does that look like now? 77, 79, I think that's okay. Probably just work on the engine now for a bit, because if we're going to give this engine to Lupano, yeah, we need it to be pretty good then. So let's work on that until that gearbox is done, at least. There you go, gearbox done. Brand new staff center, good for those guys. Yeah, Bejing, there is actually a pretty decent chance of rain, so we definitely need to keep up on that. 31 lap race. Pretty good. High speed circuit should be very nice for us. Super softs and softs will be the name of the game. We might actually do something there with the super softs, but generally because it is a refueling season or refueling competition, there isn't too much to be done. Generally, it just ends up being a two-stopper. But we'll have a look, of course, as always. All right, that new gearbox is now done. As you can see, it's quite a bit better than the one Wachowski was using. So that is very nice. We might give this one to Wachowski, depending on how quickly we can bring it back up reliably. I think we don't care about the brake set anymore. So we'll do something like this, see if this becomes actually usable for Tulipano or whether we give it to Wachowski. Either way, shouldn't be too bad. Have a look. This is now at 82%. I think I'm okay then not using it too much anymore. That means we can just bring this gearbox to a level where it'll actually be usable. Fuel efficiency. Do you want more fuel efficiency? We should be like one of the best on the grid. Well, 2.5. Should be pretty good. Thought it would be a little bit more, to be honest, but yeah, okay. All right, for a new part then, I think we'll end up going brakes. We're already second in suspension. I'm quite fine with that. Front wing, don't care so much about. I think brakes will be, unless there's a really crap part. No, this is good. Again, I'm not taking any of the illegal parts because I don't plan on being in this league anymore after this season. Which means there's no point in us building illegal parts. Yeah, we could use them, I guess, but if that takes us down a spot, that's actually very severe as a penalty in this case. Normally, if you use some illegal parts, you lose like, what, 2 points out of 20? Here we lose 2 points out of like 10 that we would probably get. That is way too severe to even consider doing, to be honest. What am I clicking through? Yeah, here. Let's keep working on this gearbox for a little bit, just because the engine and the gearbox are so costly to repair. I want both our cars this time to have a fighting chance. All parts should be good for Tulipano, and the only things that Wachowski should have to repair are either the brakes or the suspension, or both if he's really unlucky, but we'll have to see how that goes. Yeah, I'm front wing, but okay, he has 3 parts then that could all break realistically, which sucks, but well, it is what it is. I don't want to upgrade his brakes because we're gonna make a new brake set. I think this is okay. At the very least, even if we do have to repair some parts, it's not the very costly ones like the gearbox and the engine, unless something goes horribly wrong with those. All right. This now says 1 day after race. Yeah, so they're gonna also do it over the race weekend. I don't want to work only on that one then. Let's work also on the engines that we have, just to make them a bit better. Gearbox at 85 is okay. Let's maybe start working a little bit on these. We might make a new front wing as well, because these parts are really outperformed quite severely. Maybe I shouldn't have made a brake. I could have made a front wing or a suspension, I suppose. You can see there's quite a gap between these values, so Volhovsky is going to be underperforming quite a bit, but that's okay. That's what he's there for. Alright, we're going to try for first, as always. Going to bring a lot of super softs. I think that will be the name of the game. And let's see how far we can get. You're happy, but we do need to switch around some parts, so he might not be so happy at the end of that. Yeah, Tulipano needs all the parts that are actually usable. I upgraded your engine and he actually got like less happy from that, but that's okay. Yeah, he should now be also up there in terms of engine performance, definitely. He is going to get the worst front wing. I think we'll give Tulipano also that one. Yeah, so he also now has a pretty good gearbox. This is basically like that when kids get like hand-me-downs from their big siblings. We're just giving all the old parts that Tulipano doesn't need anymore to Volhovsky, which is... I could see how that might be upsetting to a driver, but... Yeah, we do really want that first spot, and Tulipano is just the way to go. It looked good. Just one final check before we get in. In past playthroughs by myself, I've definitely done major mistakes where like you build a new part and you just test it out to see how it looks compared to other teams. But it only has like what 35% reliability or something, and then you go into the race and you can't do anything because the part it just isn't usable. You need to repair it every like pit stop, which is not a fun experience. So I always like to double check these. But this looks fine. I think the most important parts are now up to a good level, which is really important early on in the season, of course. Also late in the season, but by that point, almost everyone has very reliable cars. Very rarely do you see the AI still need to, well, upgrade them, right? All right, in Beijing then, lots of nice sand. Looks very good. Don't know if anyone watched, by the way, this weekend was the Saudi Arabia Formula 1 race. Very fun race, but also a very dangerous track. So let's see if they still stick with that for next year, but at the very least, it was an exciting end to the match. Farah can do 9 to 11, then yeah, we'll probably end up doing a 2-stinter on super softs, because that means Tulipano should be like a, yeah, 12 on average on a 30 lap race. That is a very comfortable 2-stinter, basically. Probably also for Volhovsky, even though we might switch off of that and go for softs on the last stint, if really necessary, but I would rather not. Send them out. Did I? That's qualifying. Damn it. At least you're on the race trim, so that's okay. Either way, that shouldn't matter too much. We can switch him off qualifying in his next practice run. I am giving myself a headache. Can I zoom out, please? Yes. There you go. Let's see how we do. Excellent on the downforce. That's always very nice. Means we won't have to mess at all anymore with the downforce bar. Even the speed balance is very good, so that's already super nice. And poor also isn't that bad. So probably means like we have to be around, let's say here. Bring you back where you were and put on the race trim. And you, on the other hand, are poor and very poor, very poor. 41%, that is atrocious. Let's bring you right up, like let's say here. And these just go like way off. There you go. Alright, let's see how that goes. Hopefully a lot better. If we're a bit lucky, Tulipano should be done after this. And then it's just Farah that we need to set a better setup for. Yeah, that's now excellent. Great, great. Means we're just going to send you out for quite a while. Go get us some of that sweet knowledge, please. You are now good, good, good. Well, if nothing, we are quite consistent with our ratings, but I would like to get a little bit more. I think we need to go like slightly that way, maybe slightly that way. No, sorry. That way. I think this might be a lot better. Or just get to like the grades or the excellent. If not, fine, we'll bring it in one more time after that if we need to. But we shouldn't need to be honest. Okay, yeah, downforce went the wrong way, but we know that now, so that's actually perfectly fine. We don't need to bring him in anymore. We'll just go other way. That's this way. Right? Yeah. It's actually interesting. Yeah, he was poor there, I guess, so we went a little too far. This should be okay. Maybe just do like lightly like that. Alright, and then you are going to be a little tricky to get back to where you were. This should be okay. Yeah, you should be pretty much excellent, excellent, excellent across the board now. So we don't need to bring you in. We already know that. And when we bring him in for the qualifying experience, then we'll know anyway for sure. Filipano actually setting a pretty crappy lap, though he is on older softs. I would have expected a little bit more out of him. Oh, there you go. I guess that wasn't his hot lap or something. I don't know. Ooh, that is rain. Okay. That means actually we're going to bring these guys in. And we're going to get a little bit of practice on the inters done. That does suck for our super soft tire knowledge level, but... yeah. Because we're on the wrong tire, we're not going to get much experience on either of these. So... I think we're just going to go then for... inters. Oh, but... well, the question is, can we still get the race trim to level 3 in 5 minutes if we send them out on super softs? Because I do think we can hit the super soft tier 3. Question is about the race trim. I think we're just going to do inters for a bit. Just because I want to get this to level 3. And I don't think we'd get that if we practice on the super soft. Let's try, like, we might as well try for the last 3 minutes. Maybe we can still get it. And in that case, I probably made the wrong choice, but... don't mind so much. We can start on qualifying, of course. Just send them out on these same tires. Definitely don't need to set greater lap times or anything like that. Oop, I only did 1 lap on Filipano. That's probably going to cost me. Because you can see how slow this bar is going on the super soft. We might have made it if I did it to begin with, but now we're definitely not making it. That's okay. It's not the end of the world, but it's interesting. Alright, so yeah, we can definitely see that it has the potential to rain here in China. Let's see how that works for outcross in the race. I think this track definitely suits us. I'm really hoping that Verhovsky can also set a good time. Well, Farah didn't, but we never really gave him a good chance, I suppose. So he is racing really crap. Qualifying looks like that was a little bit of rain, but now it's just... no, that must have been from the practice session still left over. We have a little bit of qualifying trim, a little bit of super soft trim. Hopefully that is enough for our guys to do something with. We do have the super soft tire light-footed, which adds like 2 laps. That means we could actually make a one-stop work on the tires, I think, for Tulipano. Problem is we wouldn't have the fuel to make that work, so don't think we'll be doing that, but it is something interesting. We've done it in the past. I remember in like season 2 or 3 we've definitely done it, but I don't think here it is the right choice. All right, send them out and automatic. See what type of lap times we can put up. Hopefully a good one. I don't know why you already have a... oh, that's gap. Interesting. Tulipano is setting some purples against Verhovsky. Perfectly fine. And he's already half a second clear of Verhovsky at least. Also about half a second of the first runners. That bodes well. Not so much for Wolfsky because he is getting pushed down a little bit. Ooh, Clark Smith actually set the fastest lap time. That sucks. So we're definitely going to try and get that back. Immediately out again with some fresh tires. Wolfsky gets the same deal. We have enough softs to make that work. So I would love... Tulipano is very close. 0.1. So if we could just... That is worth 2 points right there. I think in the race itself, either way, we should kind of be fine. But I would love if Tulipano can snag those 2 points for us for the championship. Doesn't look like it though. No. Can we do one more? We have 1 minute. We might not be able to. I'm gonna try really quick. Just run him out there. One more set of softs. Go, 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 go. Same for you. I think he might not be able to, because it's not going to be a hot lap. He only has... Yeah, he needs to get past the finish before this hits 0. Now he's not going to be able to. That sucks. Okay. In the end, we got second. I guess it's not horrible. It does suck that we couldn't get past Clark Smith over there. Thornton Motorsport's definitely one of our main rivals this season, so don't want to be giving them 2 points. Definitely not upset about the tires. We have way too many sets as is. Just a shame we couldn't get a third run off the ground. But, well, I think with second we don't complain too much. Boris over here didn't really get the result we wanted. Even though he sort of has similar parts now. I mean, his front wing, I guess, is a bit worse. And that was quite important as a part, but... Yeah. I feel like he could have done a bit better, to be honest. Maybe he's still a bit sore from that crash last time out. As you can see, we're only getting 13 laps of fuel. That's why I'm not doing the light-footed trait. We could have made the supers probably last if we conserved them a little bit, but I think I'm perfectly fine just doing a 2-stop strategy. And most likely same for Wolfsky. He should be able to make it work. We are definitely running red at the start, of course. Try and get that position back. Go into top position into Clark Smith. But let's see how that runs for us. Valbuena is behind us, then Esperi. McNeil is up there. Actually, the second Thornton driver did really badly. Yeah, he's in 10th. Interesting. Alright, lots of people starting on the softs. We are, of course, going on the super softs, and that should be perfectly fine. And not a great start for us, but also not a great start for Clark Smith. We are going for the move. Oh, we locked up there. That is very unfortunate. That means we're immediately into 10th place. That is very bad for Tulipano. Actually losing much more pace even behind him now. I think when you lock up, it still costs you even more spots generally. Even after he sort of joined the Congo line again. That is unfortunate. We're gonna put Wolfsky on auto over there. I don't really mind. Okay, well, we should have the speed to catch back up, but first is now gonna look quite difficult, I think. Tulipano is definitely gonna need to make some moves happen. Already sets the fastest time. Yeah, as you can see, everyone is starting to use their battery now, because that just opened up. Unfortunately, we only have like 10%. Excuse me. Yeah, that's unfortunate. We also have less battery than everyone, basically, because we picked the part where we harvested more and we didn't start much with anything at the start. I am starting to regret that a little bit, to be honest. Probably put you on orange for a little bit still, and you on yellow. I think I'm fine with that. How's our engines looking? 80%, 83%. Definitely don't mind too much there. Yeah, to be honest, so far, a big underperformance from Tulipano. Wolfsky is also not really gaining or losing any spots, especially for being on the super softs. You would expect a little bit more out of them. Not great, but let's see what we can do. There's still 29 laps of racing to go, so it shouldn't be that big of an issue. I think we're gonna pull each of them back now a little. Maybe we do this for a little bit. I wanna keep a little bit of distance between their fuel gauges, of course, as always, and Tulipano is the one that needs the resources the most if we're gonna try and go for that sponsor objective still. 6-second gap between us and Floridi. That is hurtful. Clark Smith actually also had an atrocious guess mistake somewhere. He dropped from 1st to 6th. We're from 2nd to 8th. So actually the two people on the front row doing the worst here in China. Though we are gaining some spots back now. Back into 7th. Definitely not too bad. We do need to be careful of our engine though. We have been running on red for longer than I would like on Tulipano. That is of course going to hurt his engine's reliability quite severely. Doesn't look like there's going to be any rain just yet. And we are slowly but surely at least gaining some spots on both of our drivers. At this point it just becomes about damage control. And we shouldn't forget that there is still a very good likelihood that these other guys will have to repair some parts. Because it is so early in the season. So yeah, we might be able to still make first happen, but it is looking a little unlikely unless all of these guys either mess up or start having some problems with their parts. Gap between us and first not really slowing down, but also not really gaining on it. We're at 60%. We have done 5 laps once we cross the finish line. Means I want to do 5 more for each of these guys at least. Probably 6 for Tulipano, maybe 5 for Volksky. Means actually we might need to pull back a little bit on the tires here. But that could cost them some performance. Also, I don't know what I was doing here. I really mismatched the fuel versus the tires. I think either... Yeah, Volksky is not going to make 7 anyway, so we can just start burning that fuel up a little bit. And people using their batteries, I think I'm content just harvesting for a little while longer. He doesn't seem to be under threat, but also not really seems to be making any moves. Tulipano, that is. So I'm okay doing this for now. Engine is looking alright. He is getting into the territory where I would like to try and make a move, maybe with the battery. Let's see if we can do it here on the long straight. We are getting pushed a little by 8th, so I would like to try and make something happen. And there you go. You get the power. Try and get into 6th. Yep. Good move. Alright, let's shut that off. And that is 1 spot gained at least. Alright, super soft. So where is the cliff again? That should be, what is it? 20%. Means we probably have like, what, 1 more lap in us? That is actually quite bad. I ran Volksky a little bit too aggressive maybe. We definitely have like 3 more laps in Tulipano, I think. Alright, 5th over here is gonna pit. Not too bad. I think since we're doing this, we can be a little bit more conservative. Lots of people are going into the pits for now. So we don't need to be fighting too much. We can start harvesting that battery as much as we can. And then we'll see. We are now provisionally in... Well, right now we're in 4th and 5th. But obviously these people might get out ahead of us. Really depends. What are we doing here? I think we're going to pull back now also in your engine. I don't want you to be pushing Tulipano too much anyway. Let's see. Ideally, you do 1 more lap, but I'm not sure we can make that happen, to be honest. I think we're not going to. We'll definitely give you 1 more super soft, but we might just give Volksky a last lap on these softs. Yeah, he's only done 8. But I think it's very dangerous now to try and do another one on these. He's already at 5% off of the mark. Right? Or am I wrong calculating again? Goes 5% for the hard, medium 10, soft 15, super soft 20. No, we're not doing another super soft stint, or we're doing another super soft stint, but we're not doing another lap. Let's give him the fuel he needs. That will be about 10 laps or so. Give him 11. And we'll just run him on orange. Then after 11 laps, he should only have 11 more. Well, he could... No, wait. First already went past the finish, so this is 1 lap off. There's 23 laps remaining in that case for Bohovsky. We're so close. So close to doing a 3-stinter on the super softs, but I'm not comfortable trying that now. So we are just gonna try for this. We'll give him 12 laps of fuel. Means he should just be fine on orange for like 11 laps on average. And let's see how that works out for him. Alright, Tulipano, meanwhile, you are still moving along just about fine. Question is, can we do 2 more stints on your... or 2 more laps in your stint? Also not looking that likely, to be honest. It's dangerous. Yeah, and also your tire temperatures are now low. I don't think we're doing that. We've done 9. Should be okay if we're not running too aggressively on him for the rest of the race. So we're going to bring him in now as well. That means we can actually run aggressively for a little bit. Let's bring him in on the supers. And we'll just give him the full tank, I think. Do we need to though? We could, because we're not going to run on red pretty much at all. If we're going to try and do just 11 laps. Because he does actually have 22 remaining, so we need to do 11 on average. Means we could just do 12 laps of fuel, saves us a second in refueling. Might actually benefit us in coming out decently. Alright, Floridi is repairing a part. That should be quite good for us. He might still get out ahead of us, but that should bring us a lot closer to Floridi here. Yeah, we're right behind now, so that's perfectly fine. Let's put it to medium orange for now. Where are we gonna get out? Right behind Volhovsky, actually. Volhovsky had a better pit stop then. I think we fueled him a little bit less. Do we use team orders here? We might. Normally we never use team orders, but Tulipano should be way better. I don't want him to have to fight. He's not happy about it, I know. But just let him through for now. And good job. Thank you, Volhovsky. Being a trooper. I want Tulipano to sort of have free reign in pushing. Not have to fight his own teammate just to get through. Still no rain. So looking good for another 7 or so laps before we need to check again. More people coming into the pits now. And yeah, so far not a great race for us. Not a great showing. A lot of other people though do have to pit quite soon again. Of the fresh runners, let's say, we are in first. Actually ahead of Floridi. Didn't see that, but we got out ahead of her somehow. That is quite good. Actually, she must have made a mistake. She's like 5 seconds behind us. I think I was looking at the wrong... Who was I seeing then? I'm not sure. Alright, doesn't matter too much. Let's focus on the here and now. I think on the main straight we might use Tulipano's battery again a little bit. Just to get away from Volhovsky. No, he's not really going to make a move just yet, but let's just use our battery a little bit. Get close to Tulipano again. And see what we can do. They should be starting to see quite some severe drop-offs. We are still on very fresh tires, whereas Clark Smith obviously isn't. I'm not too happy about the AI using the battery against us there. I guess he was trying to get away from him, but not exactly ideal. Let's push a little bit on the tires as well. We can make that work. Really want to push to Clark Smith. Try and get there. Might use a bit more battery actually here, just to try and make the move happen. Not sure if we'd be able to, but try and get close to him. Here you go. Right alongside him in the corner. 1. There you go. Alright, made the move. Right with 29%. He obviously will have some battery still. Yeah, he's at 41%. I must say, honestly, that higher harvesting percentage really is not doing it. I think next season, probably if we do promote, we'll probably get another ERS. Or if we don't promote, we'll also get an ERS. Either way, I think we'll definitely go for a different one there. Because I hate not having a starting charge, actually. That makes us so vulnerable at the start of the race. Which is just not ideal. But I must say, right now, still going remarkably well. We have 18 laps remaining. If no rain happens or anything soon, then I think we are on a much better line than these guys are. All of them still have to pit. Clark Smith is trying to go for an attack. Navarro is trying to defend. They're all using their batteries. Completely fine with that, to be honest. They're gonna have to pit really soon. So at this point, I'm not interested in a fight with them even anymore. Sevilla is actually our biggest competitor, let's say, because he's actually on fresher tires than us. So Verhovsky is gonna have to try and hold him off. Yeah, see, some people are coming into the pits right now already. I imagine Clark Smith will soon as well. And yeah, people are starting to work on some parts now, so that's going to be very costly. I think the same happened to Floridi. She was comfortably in first, and she came into the pit 6 seconds ahead of us, I think. And we still got out 5 seconds ahead of her, so that means she must have used... he's going into pits now too, unfortunately, because Volsky just used quite a lot of his battery to try and fight him. I just like focusing on one driver's battery, though I guess we can... It's definitely not as min-maxy. I could do it myself, but I'm okay with this. Clark Smith might be hitting his cliff just before he goes into the pits. We are, yeah, gaining on some speed. Might have just about hit his cliff there. Yeah, I think so. He was going quite slow there in the end. Yeah, 12%. Am I wrong then again about the percentages? I want to quickly look it up mid-race. I feel like I should remember because I look it up every time and I forget every time. Let's have a quick look. Tire percentages. Dark cliff. Run the race. Nothing too exciting is happening anyway. 15%. Ah, crap. Alright. This time I'll remember. I swear. I promise you I'll remember. 15% for the super softs. We could have actually made another lap work then for Volsky and also for Tulipano. So that was definitely a little mismanagement on my part, just because I had the wrong tire percentages in mind, but that's okay. In the end, it's still working out really well for us. Let's have a look. We can make at least one more lap work, if not two. But you do need your... Yeah, this wing needs some repairing. We might even need to do another pit stop for Volsky in case one of these parts hits their cliff. Most likely the brake set, the suspension. We definitely need to start fixing this before it becomes a problem. We're doing one more lap for him, I think, and we'll do 2 or 3 more laps for Tulipano. Can probably cool you down a little bit more, conserve for a little while. I'm okay with that. Still no rain, so that is perfectly fine. And let's quickly do that lap. We're actually gonna be lapping number 20 there, if they're not careful. Probably bring you back now to yellow. That should be okay. Yeah, we could make another lap work, I think, especially if we conserve, but I think we need to start bringing in those parts. We have 15 laps remaining. Let's see if we can do it on the soft. That's 14 after we pit it. We don't. We'd have to run on blue. But I'm also really not keen on these parts sitting out. Can we do another lap? We have 7% to spare. I think I'm okay trying. Let's put them both, because then we're also gonna need Tulipano to do that. But let's see. As soon as he hits the lower cliff, we're gonna also put him to yellow, of course, for both of these guys. Just right about now. There you go. I think he is gonna hit this cliff, but probably not attack quick. Yeah, you don't want to attack. You want to attack. I think we'll just keep it on yellow for you. You are gonna hit your cliff, but like on the last corner, I think. So that's... I'm okay with that. And now we definitely need to bring you in. So theoretically, you should now be able to go out on the soft and make it, at least fuel-wise. Question is whether these parts are gonna hold, but I think that is a risk I am willing to take, because it's not me in that car. Yeah, you're gonna hit your cliff like right here. That's okay. Much better timing there than the first lap. That first lap actually cost us mainly for Tulipano, or sorry, for Verhovsky. I think Tulipano will be fine. You do need to bring your heat up a little bit. See what we can do there. Alright, good pit stop. We can't run you on high anymore though. So that we should be wary of. What do we do here? I think we just bring you in now. There's 12 laps remaining by that time. Tires should be able to make it, but we have sort of proven that we're not making it. I mean, that first one was definitely my mistake, but even in the second one, I don't think we made it work. Problem is just it's so cold on this track. 14 degrees, not much track grip. Just makes it so hard to actually keep the temperature up. I think 11 is a lot more realistic. Problem is, can we make it to... I'm not sure. But I think we're gonna try. We can make it work in the fuel department. We have 7%. We might hit the cliff like again at the end right there. Even a little bit earlier probably, because we're not conserving as much as we are. Let's just try and do this. Yeah, I know. Your tires are getting worn. We're gonna try anyway. I really don't want that timing to be too awkward if possible. Probably give that much. Yeah, that's okay. And yeah, it's okay. All right. He's gonna hit this. Yeah, that's gonna be a cliff hit, like last corner again. That's perfectly fine. And we also get quite a bit of fuel. Yeah, that's fine. All right. We are in second now, but yeah, people ahead of us still need to pit. So again, a good pit stop right there. Probably gonna do this. We have a little bit of excess fuel, but not much for Bohovsky. And oh, body blocked him right there. Quite nice. Let's use a little bit of our battery just because we have it. Depend a little bit against him using his. And you're at 40%. That should be good for Bohovsky, also doing some shenanigans. Doesn't look like there'll be any water whatsoever on track, which is quite nice for us. Hopefully Bohovsky can just hold on to second. I mean, provisionally we're definitely in second because Ingledu over here definitely has to pit still. And no one else is looking to challenge either, to be honest. These guys are definitely gonna have to pit another time. So I think we're looking like a 1-2 right now, unless Volsky decides to be a bit crash happy once more. But let's see how that goes. Okay. Also, very much depends on our parts holding out, actually. We do have 1/3 of the race left. Theoretically, we can finish the race like this, but... Right, his screwed suspension is looking very dodgy, as you can see. Yeah, I can see why you're complaining, but... Well, it's not like we have much of a choice. We're just gonna have to ride out like this. Lots of people behind us still need to pit. Clark Smith for sure. He's gonna pit this lap, I think. He's on what? 7 lap old stints. Yeah, that's already at his average, basically. You can see that also because we have that good tire wear, we are making these tires last way longer than the AI. They're probably also not being as careful with it, but... Yeah, almost no AI on Super Sauce makes it past 8. I think Floridi over there is doing a 2.9 stinter. That's about it. And we even made a mistake with that first stint. We could have definitely made 10 and 9 happen instead of 9 and 8. But that's okay. I think we are still going to do quite well in this race. Barring any horrible accidents, of course. 15-second gap between us and Floridi in case something needs to be repaired very quickly. More concerned about Vohovsky right now, though these two parts are also looking quite dodgy. I think we used a little bit too much red engine mode at the start, but yeah, it is what it is. Let's use a little bit of our battery just to have it be used. There you go. Again, use a little bit on the fast bits. And there you go. 30% to defend anything if necessary should be enough. These guys can definitely finish on this unless they need to repair any parts or if they don't have enough fuel. You can already see Larson over here starting to conserve hers. So, see how that goes. Not sure who has the current fastest lap point. Not us, because we have +10 and +6. Probably Clark Smith or Pereira. Oh, now it's us. Okay, thanks Tulipano for letting that be known. Even on older tires, as soon as you have less fuel in your car, you're obviously also going to be doing a little bit better. Tire wear is starting to get a problem, at least for Wolfsky. The parts are starting to look dodgy too, so yeah. With 5 laps to go, this is going to be quite dodgy. How long does a pit stop take if we don't put on new tires, but we do repair? In this case, it would be only a 4-second pit stop. We wouldn't need to refuel either. But then obviously there is also the problem of having to go in and out of the pit lane, where we'll be quite slow. So we would be behind Floridi and Wolfsky, of course. Yeah, we're definitely not making that choice just yet, but it is something we're gonna have to consider doing. I could have maybe in Tulipano's last pit stop just repaired any of these for the sake of it. I guess the front wing, but well, 5 laps remaining. Let's see what we can do without having to resort to such measures. You can run out now on orange, which is nice. I think you should be fine with your tire level at that point. Same for Tulipano. Should make it, but let's see. All right, 4 laps to go. No parts in the red yet, which is nice. Let's use something so we don't get overtaken by a back marker. Go away. Leave us alone. You can just use it whenever you want. The only one really in contention against third over here, Floridi, who caught up a little bit, is Bohovsky. Yeah, main thing is just about holding out part-wise. And it's actually Tulipano who is closer to that red level than Bohovsky, except for the suspension, but being a bit conservative about our tires once more. Floridi is actually getting a little bit dangerous with those tires. And for Larson. We'll see how that ends for them. 15%, 3 laps. Ooh, this is gonna be tricky. But we don't. Oh, also that is also very tricky. But I don't think we can make the choice anymore. We're only 2.5 laps to go. I don't think we can make the choice of going in anymore. That's just not feasible. We're gonna have to try and run out. I know this is really bad, but air temperatures are also graining now, also really bad. But Herrera retired. Okay. Yeah, 2 laps left. We cannot make the choice anymore to come in now. We have 22 seconds. If we come in just to fix this, we'll be battling. Yeah, and that's in case nothing goes wrong. I think that's too dangerous. With 2 laps to go, I think we just need to risk it to get the 1-2. If nothing, at the very least, one of these guys should make it. But we're not coming in for the last lap anymore. I don't think that's... Ooh, you are pitting. Sevilla isn't. That's 29 seconds. Do we pit? Do we really do a last lap pit stop just to not break the car? 28 seconds. I'm honestly considering it. We could even slap on some new tires, but I don't think that's wise. 21%. Yeah, we'll hit the cliff somewhere around here. That's fine, I think. Main problem now is that part. Still at 16%. It should theoretically be fine. We should exit well ahead of Sophie Sevilla. Honestly, I am considering it. Problem is, if something goes wrong, 26% chance. And if we do balance, we'll be exiting close to Sofia Sevilla. I don't think I'm willing to do that. I think we are going to risk it. Hopefully Tulipano just makes it and doesn't have to retire the car. Would be unbelievably sad on the last lap. But I'm not doing that. I'm not pitting someone on his last lap. He is going to be insanely slow very soon. Because he's going to hit his cliff, like I said, right around here. Means he's going to be overtaken by these guys quite soon. But that's okay. Let's start using our battery to finish out the race. Looks like we will be getting first and second. So a little bit tight there, a little bit dicey with the parts actually going down a lot quicker than we would have hoped. But in the end, a 1-2 with a 20-second gap between our drivers and theirs. Looks like actually, what says that team? Valbuena did quite well. They got 3 and 4, so that's not a bad result for them. Even with Floridi, I think, needing to repair a very expensive part. We didn't do so well, and I also messed the strategy up at the start, which is why we're running even on these cliffs to begin with. We could have saved ourselves a lap way at the start. Also, the temperature didn't help us, but, well, that could have gone worse, let's just say. A 1-2 is never a bad result. I think in the end we also... No, we didn't... Yeah, we did get the fastest lap, because we get 12 points instead of 10. Nice. Okay, so that is maximum amount of points that we could have gotten, actually, if not for the losing the pole position during qualifying. So that cost us 2 points, unfortunately, but well, I don't think we'll be crying over 2 points when we gained, what was it? 16? 18? I think it was 18. Very good. All right, scrutineering. I don't think anyone should be using illegal parts. Yeah, Thornton really did not have a good weekend. They went 7th and woof, 6th, 16th. So yeah, that's only 2 points for them. Valbuena kept up a little bit, gaining 7 points. So a pretty decent race for them. Unfortunately, we didn't get the sponsor bonus off of finishing first in the qualifying. Maybe a good idea to start going for that third one, because third we can almost guarantee, whereas first is a little bit of a dice roll, especially during qualifying. But a 1-2 is always nice, of course. And that actually puts Tulipano comfortably on top of the driver standings. 30 points for us in total. That is also double of what anyone else has. Of course, we do expect to do best in the early season, because that is when other teams need to be still repairing their engines, repairing their gearboxes. That is going to probably stop after the third race. Even in the third race, we should start seeing it a lot less, but very nice for us. We came in first, and that is also a nice result for Wolfsky, who's now a little bit happier again after having a pretty abysmal last 3 races. I think he crashed in 2 out of 3, and one of them he didn't even get to run in. Chairman is also a bit happier after we begged him for some money last episode. So, all in all, pretty good result. A 1-2 is always good to have, of course. And yeah, our brake set is also built, so a very good continuation of our season. Promotion is looking likelier with every race that we win, of course, so we're going to keep trying to do that. We've already have an 18-point gap between us and second. I really think we can do it quite easily this season, unless something goes horribly wrong, of course. But yeah, this should be the season actually where we promote out of the Asia Pacific Supercup. And I very much hope that you are enjoying this. We have been building the car for last season, and now we finally get to reap those, reap the rewards. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, which is very nice, right? So yeah, all in all, I think this is a good time to wrap it up. Hopefully you've enjoyed the episode. I very much enjoyed racing in it, even if I made some minor mistakes. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.